it going, all you guys and girls in the Illumination? Time to jump aboard the Loom Train. It's me, it's JJD. JJ Double J, the Illuminator here. Also known by almost countless other aliases and nicknames, but we won't get into that right now. Lately, for the past week or so, maybe a little longer than that, I've been telling some stories about when I was younger. I worked at a nursing home in the kitchen as a cook's helper. We also did dishwashing and everything else that needed to be done. There were big machines that did all that. It was a big nursing home. I believe there were over 130 older people there that lived there. But one of the things that I miss the most is, of all things, the meatloaf. Now, I know meatloaf is usually something that most people are not that fond of. It ends up being something that people eat only because there's nothing else to eat or whatever. Most people think meatloaf and they think it's, at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to meals. I've never been that way. Meatloaf has always been one of my favorite things to eat in this lifetime. And the thing is, meatloaf comes in so many different flavors. A lot of people don't realize that. And I know this for a fact because this nursing home, even though they had recipes, most recipes were not followed. And I'll give you a little example. Very similar to where I'm working now, the cafeteria in the building that I'm working now has something similar. They have recipes, but nobody goes by it. But for all the wrong reasons, you don't want to eat at this cafeteria. But that's a story for another day and another cup of coffee. This nursing home, basically it was like, well, we kind of make it the way the recipe is, but nothing is measured out. Like some people might, when they're doing the meatloaf, they might put in more seasoning than other people. Some people might put in, their recipe in their head that they do at home or that their mother did. Who knows? I might be adding something like, nutmeg to it or something like that. But the point is that I'm trying to make, meatloaf was always, more often than not, at least once a day, either for lunch or for supper, it was always the alternate. I don't know why, but if the people living there, if they couldn't have, for whatever reason, because their diet didn't allow it or whatever, if they couldn't have the regular meal, usually meatloaf was the alternate. And it was either lunch or supper. Never both. But it might be yesterday lunch, today supper, tomorrow lunch. It got to the point where they got so sick of eating meatloaf because some people, they were eating it every day. But the thing was, a different cook's helper or a different cook made it all the time, depending on the shifts. And as much as I like meatloaf, it always tasted different. It's not like going to McDonald's and getting a Big Mac and it always tastes the same no matter what Big Mac you get and whatever McDonald's you go to, rather. But this, I've never had bad meatloaf there, but it always tasted different. It was always as if whoever was making it just was flying by the seat of their pants. It's just weird. I know most people that are cooks, they can eyeball something and know about 3 cups of flour or about, a tablespoon of sugar. They can eyeball things, but I don't know. I really miss the meatloaf. It's one of my favorite things to eat in this lifetime. And I don't even think, other than buying it, I haven't made a meatloaf in years. Only because I can't find my meatloaf pan. Not that you need a pan, but it's kind of the way I did it. When I moved, couldn't find my meatloaf pan. I still don't know what happened to it. I should just buy another one. Not that I eat a lot of red meat anymore, but maybe I can do it with ground turkey or something. We'll see. Anyway, I hope today finds you well. I'm off to the races. I love you all. Stay safe. Take care. This is the Illuminator, and I'll be back.
Game over.
Let the Pirates cartoon begin!